Hey, TMFG community, Carlo and John here. And today we're going to reveal the retirement numbers that most Canadian retirees don't know and why you probably need far less than you think. Over our years helping Canadians plan for retirement, we've noticed a huge gap between what people think they need and what actually creates a comfortable retirement. It's actually shocking how many Canadians are chasing arbitrary numbers and delaying the life they could already be enjoying. And that's exactly why we made this video today. It's to expose the retirement numbers most Canadians get wrong and give you a clear, realistic perspective. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why those big, scary numbers aren't always necessary and how you can retire confidently without feeling stressed or behind. So let's get right into it. Why don't we start with that infamous $1.7 million number?
Right, Carlo. According to one of the major banks in Canada, Canadians think they need $1.7 million to retire comfortably. Millennials, they think they need even more, $2.1 million.
But here's the catch. This number actually creates fear, anxiety, and often causes people to work longer than necessary.
Exactly. Financial planners always emphasize that there's no real magic universal number. Retirement needs depend entirely on your lifestyle, your income sources, and your monthly expenses.
We found that fear-based planning, it stops people from realizing that they may already be on track for a secure retirement, but they're so focused on this big, scary number that they miss the reality of their situation.
So why is this a problem? Well, chasing these impossible targets often leads to oversaving during your working years, which can come at the expense of really enjoying life today.
And it's this anxiety that can prevent you from using Canadian benefits strategically. Things like your government benefits, CPP and old age security, and provincial programs that could help you retire sooner.
So those unrealistic targets also ignore your personal circumstances, the house you've paid off, your actual monthly expenses, and other advantages you might already have.
So in other words, fear-based numbers can actually delay your retirement by years, even if you could retire comfortably today. I think that 1.7 million fear creates a lot of problems. And real Canadian retirement examples prove comfortable retirement costs can be far less than what people think.
So let's actually look at some real examples. There are couples in Canada with $500,000 to $700,000 saved who live very comfortably.
And if you add in a defined benefit pension or even modest lifestyle choices, these couples are enjoying life without chasing, again, those arbitrary numbers that you'd see in the media.
So they enjoy inexpensive housing, hobbies that could cost almost nothing, and still have financial freedom.
And I think what's important is that they planned realistically. And their focus wasn't, how do I hit $1.7 million? It was, how do I live comfortably with what I have?
And this proves a big point. The right number is lifestyle specific, not just universal.
John, why do these real examples work so well? Modest lifestyle planning allows a comfortable retirement with savings that are achievable.
Focusing on actual needs reduces anxiety and often enables earlier retirement.
Plus, these retirees use Canadian benefits like Canada Pension Plan and old age security as income replacements rather than relying on private savings to fill every income gap.
And the result is retirement satisfaction that fear-based accumulation rarely achieves. Modest examples prove lower requirements, but lifestyle-specific reality shows why there's no universal retirement number for Canadians. Now, retirement costs vary dramatically depending on lifestyle.
So let's take an example. Couples spending $10,000 to $15,000 per month, they need much higher savings than couples living more modestly.
Factors like your location, your housing costs, and the type of hobbies you enjoy create completely different retirement requirements.
Well, imagine retiring in Vancouver is far different from a smaller city in Ontario. That difference in monthly costs can be thousands of dollars.
And the frequency in which you travel or luxury spending can easily change retirement needs by tens or even hundreds of thousands.
Why is this important? I think understanding what you're actually spending allows for planning realistically instead of it being driven by anxiety or a one-size-fits-all target.
Yeah, lifestyle-based planning also integrates Canadian benefits, which means your savings can go further.
I think it also allows optimal retirement timing based on your personal circumstances, not by those arbitrary dates set by fear or those media headlines.
Yeah, ultimately, this approach provides a level of satisfaction and security generic targets simply cannot deliver. Creating goals that's lifestyle specific proves the importance of individualization. but the 70 to 80% income replacement rule gives a realistic baseline for most Canadians.
In our industry, many planners use that 70 to 80% of pre-retirement income as a baseline for their retirement income.
Yeah, this considers expenses that disappear once you stop working, like maybe your commute, work clothes, or even daily lunches.
At the same time, it should also add in discretionary costs like increased travel, new hobbies, or gifts to make your retirement enjoyable.
Yeah, using this method often reveals much lower real numbers that the scary headline would suggest.
Why is this a better starting point than lump sum savings goals? I think it accounts for your actual lifestyle needs, Canadian benefits, and those tax advantages you may enjoy.
Yeah, we talked about it previously, but it reduces anxiety and encourages earlier, more confident retirement decisions.
So basically, it lets you plan based on what your reality is, not on the fear. So now that you understand income replacement planning, watch our short training video by going to the link in the description. We'll show you our exact system for calculating your real Canadian retirement needs.
So, a recent study from one of the major banks in Canada suggests that $700,000 to $1 million is a realistic starting point for the average Canadian retiree.
And that's far lower than the 1.7 million, especially if you have pensions, you've got your government benefits, or a paid off home.
And this accounts for Canadian advantages often ignored by the American planning advice.
This ballpark figure creates achievable targets, giving Canadians confidence instead of panic.
So, what makes this range so practical? It allows retirement in your 60s, not forcing you to work into your 70s to chase these impossible numbers.
And I think it also ensures the optimal use of tax-advantaged accounts and government benefits. This realistic range provides achievable targets, but Canadian advantage factors show why Canadians need less than Americans for a comparable retirement. We've found that Canadians enjoy major advantages over their American counterparts when planning retirement.
Universal healthcare alone eliminates a huge medical cost that devastate American retirees.
Canada Pension Plan and Old Age Security provide guaranteed income foundations, so you don't need to save as much privately.
Tax-free savings account, tax-free growth, and RSP tax advantages accelerate wealth building and make retirement planning a lot more efficient.
And these advantages mean that Canadian retirees often need 30 or sometimes 40% less savings than Americans.
Well, why does it matter? Well, guaranteed healthcare eliminates financial fear, government benefits provide longevity insurance, essentially, and tax advantages accelerate savings.
So I guess to sum it up, Canadian planning is entirely different from US-focused advice. The Canadian advantages reduce requirements, but realistic planning helps you calculate your actual Canadian retirement needs.
So start by looking at your current expenses, then adjust for potential retirement changes.
Factor in your Canada Pension Plan and Old Age Security and other Canadian benefits to see the gap private savings have to fill.
Yeah, consider lifestyle preferences and your geographic plans to create personalized and achievable targets.
We've found that this approach shows retirement adequacy far below fear-based numbers.
So why does this work? It's all about your individual circumstances rather than averages or media headlines.
It maximizes Canadian advantages and creates achievable goals, and that helps enable that optimal retirement timing.
Ultimately, it builds confidence, not fear-driven accumulation. So now that you understand realistic Canadian retirement planning, let's look at how you can calculate your specific retirement needs.
Step 1, gather current spending data.
Step 2, adjust for changes like mortgage payoff, travel, or reduce work costs.
Step 3, add discretionary want spending like hobbies or vacations.
4, calculate CPP and old age security projections.
And lastly, step 5, determine the savings gap your private funds must cover.
This blueprint reduces fear, avoids unnecessary targets, and gives clear RSP or TFSA strategies.
And it often reveals retirement readiness years earlier than those fear-based planning's suggestions. Now that you understand the retirement numbers most Canadian retirees don't know, and why you probably need far less than you think, you can plan based on realistic requirements rather than that inflated fear-based target.
Now, if you want help calculating your specific Canadian retirement needs using realistic planning, watch our short training video by clicking the link in the description.
We'll walk you through the exact strategies to determine your true retirement requirements in Canada, no matter your situation.
We'll see you in the next video.